Dawson says 9 months later, authorities
Hello, Miss Margaret. How are you doing? Oh my goodness. My computer is not working with me today. I'm doing good. Just waiting to see if we're going to get some more people in and go over RL's last interview from Summer Search. It's been a long day trying to unwind. Hey, that might work. Let's see if we can get some more people on in here before I start talking. I hope I do get some more people in. Oh, I lost you there for a minute. I am back. So, Miss Margaret, how long have you been following this case for? Okay, since day one. So you've been following it as long as I have. So what do you think about it? I welcome all comments, all opinions. I don't like people bashing the parents or anything like that, but you're more than welcome to state your opinions and stuff like that. But I just prefer to be tasteful with it. I don't want to put myself in timeout. Yeah, I'm with you on that one 100%, sweetie. I believe there was two people. I believe somebody was up there by that swing waiting on her and took her down to whoever was waiting in the car. Now, I'll be the first one to say I am a Wells supporter until they are proven guilty. I don't believe they had anything to do with it, but I do believe it was somebody that they knew. I was just looking through some of the lives that were going on right now. One's got a fundraiser in Summer's name, which pisses me off to no extent. Like, where are you sending the fundraising money to? Was she ever found? Where's my drink? Where is Maisie? I haven't seen her in a minute. Oh, wow. So, in other words, they were going to try to pass her off as their own child. I am so sorry, but I am so happy you got her back unharmed. That's really good. Well, let's pray that at least she's safe. She was safe. Welcome into whoever hasn't subscribed. Please say hi so we know you're here. Yeah, I am all for her not speaking out, because the more she speaks, the more people read into it the wrong way, and it's not right. Like they jump on every little thing that she does or doesn't do, no matter what. They've thought bad about her from day one, so they're going to think bad about her until whatever concludes from the case. What you making? Huh? What you making? What you heating up? Heating up. What? People just don't realize how much that woman has been threatened and just bullied. And I don't, no way, shape, or form is it right. And now with Don gone, the first couple weeks that he was gone, it was worse. Um, People were throwing used sex toys on her in her yard. They were up there just scrounging around, making her nervous. Like, we've learned from the YouTubers, the boob troop that went there to do their so-called protesting, that it is easy to get up on that land without anybody spotting you, without anybody hearing you, without the dogs coming after people. So why is it so hard for everybody to believe that Little Miss Sunshine disappeared? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, and there's a lot of children that just go missing like that. Like, they don't, it's not necessarily the parents. Like, there are so many children right now missing and nobody, you know what I'm saying? There's like no evidence of where they are, what happened to them, or nothing like that. What else that needs? Yeah, for sure. I live in an old house that needs TLC, and I understand what it can be like for people to judge. And they don't. And she's trying her best right now to get that house back to where she can be able to at least get the boys back. And everybody takes it as that she's not trying to look for Summer. But my thing on that is she's trying to get the 3 boys back. She knows where they are. She knows what she has to do to get them back. Baby girl is missing. We don't know where she's at, who has her. I still believe she's alive, but statistics will tell you that she isn't. But with that being said, Elizabeth Smart was taken for what, 9-10 years? She was still alive. So I mean, it's possible. Yeah, I mean, people are just hateful and downright. She is. She is doing great. She's doing what she has to do to at least get them boys back. Welcome in, Mutt. How do you say your name? and Anadita. Can I call you M.A. for short? I have a bad time pronouncing people's names. I'm sorry. And if everybody would believe that Summer was alive, I think this case would go a little bit quicker. But with Ellie and TBI not telling anybody anything, which in a way, I am all for that. All for that. But in other ways, I think it's good that they come out and at least tell us something. So, with that being said, what we're going to go over tonight is RL's interview with the last search for Summer, which was a few days ago, maybe a couple weeks ago. He basically said they are no closer to finding anything to do with Summer now than they were back when she first went missing. I mean, so how can people constantly say that the parents had something to do with it? I believe so wholeheartedly between CPS and TBI, not even Ellie, but just TBI and CPS, if they had a strong case against them parents, they'd have been arrested. It's going on a year. We have what, 4 months? 3 months? Yeah. 9 months. Oh my goodness. Oh, I am so sorry for your cancer. It's one of those hard. Yeah, that does not help, MA. That just makes it a little bit. Cancer is horrible. I'm really sorry. I pray for you. But yeah, like, how can people sit there and blame people for something if there's no evidence? That's been my biggest thing. Biggest thing with people. How can you like convict somebody without evidence? Like the theories and the lies have got to stop. It's not helping this case. By no means is it helping. Welcome into the non-subscriber. Please say hello so we can welcome you in properly. Exactly, Margaret. I agree. Hello, Miss Joy, my beautiful. I went live earlier, but nobody came through, so I only let it stay open for like 20 minutes and then I left. I've been wanting to go over this RL's last interview about Summer from the last search. Oh, you do have a lot going on. Whew. But I also know cancer is one of those ones that you don't mess with. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play this real quick. And then we can talk about it. Today. Oh, what am I doing? This is the wrong one. It's this one. It'll be okay. I promise.
Aren't any closer to finding the missing 5-year-old, but searches like this are just a part of this investigation.
We actually have not stopped looking for Summer. This is just another part of it that we are looking over some ground we've been on before and maybe some new ground we hadn't covered, and just trying to turn up anything we possibly can to find this little girl.
Oh, what happened?
Now, these crews are assigned to specific areas out here in Beach. Live in Beach Creek. Ansley Daniel, News Channel 11.
Hold on. My internet is not working with me, y'all. I'm so. What in the world? What's changed on me? Come on. difficulties.
For summer, this is just ground we've been on.
Oh my goodness. I've been talking this whole time and I wasn't even added into the stream. Oh Lord. I just talked for about 10 minutes by myself. Yeah, Dippy. We did good. Kitty, please do not knock anything over. Hello, Sarah. Welcome in. How are you? Sorry, my live is going in and out, so I think people have been leaving me. We were just going over the last interview with RL from the last search they did for Summer. And in not so many words, he said, basically, they are no closer now to finding out the truth than they were back then. So basically, without them giving any kind of conjecture on the case, they're leaving room for everybody to come up with the rumors and the lies and whatever else they want to come up with because they aren't given any information. I'm doing good. Just kind of annoyed that I was looking on the live schedule and seeing that some people are still thinking JS is a credible witness, which I don't believe anything she says. That's just my opinion. Then I seen somebody doing a fundraiser in Summer's name. Like, where are you going to put that money? What fundraiser? There is no fundraiser for her. I know. I don't know. I was talking the whole time and didn't even enter the stream. Exactly, Sarah. Exactly. Because CPS and TBI, not Ellie, but TBI and CPS, if they had a case against them, they would have been arrested by now. The worst that we can say is that the house wasn't in living conditions, but they were in the process of fixing it when Summer went missing as well. Well, when you're ready, MA, and I'm live, you're more than welcome to come up and talk about it, sweetheart. I sure enough will share the stream with you. Yeah, and FBI, but I don't really think FBI's in it as much as everybody thinks, because you never hear not one thing about the FBI. It's always TBI and LE. So they may be in it, but I don't think until some more evidence comes up, or if they, anything important to the case for FBI to come in. I don't really think, I think they're just standing back and just watching everything, but more or less it's just TBI and Ellie. And I think, in my opinion, Ellie is doing the worst job I've ever seen on a case for a missing child. I mean, like I said in the beginning, in a way, I think it's good that they are keeping a lot of the information quiet, because I know there is a bunch of crap that we don't know as civilians, or as I like to say, nobodies, because we are not entitled to anything to do with this child, anything to do with the law. So in generalization, we're supposed to sit back and let it play out and just watch everything as it continues. And I'm all for keeping that baby girl's name out in the open so it doesn't go cold. Maybe if they figure out it has crossed state lines, FBI will come. Exactly. If she is no longer in the state of Tennessee, they definitely will be involved more through. But with all this stuff that people are constantly blaming the poor parents. Okay, let me rephrase that. I'm not saying poor parents as the type of people they are. I feel for them because of all the stuff that they have to go through on a daily. Hello, my friend. How are you? Yes. Like, that has always been my thing from day one, is that we are all innocent until proven guilty. Whether or not, if they've done something, I will gracefully bow out and, I will own up to what I've been saying. But for me, I don't personally think they had anything to do with it. Like, we have seen from the protesters, or whatever people call them. I like to take the Glares nickname for them, the boob troop. And we've seen from their videos, they snuck up to the Wells house through that little dog trail, or whatever they call it, without being spotted, without being heard. So why is it so people think that nobody could have went up there and just took the baby? Like, if the dogs weren't nowhere to be found or around there that time, unless it was somebody that they personally knew, the dogs wouldn't have barked anyway. Excuse me. Hello, Libby. Thank you for coming in. Oh my goodness. We have a famous creator in here with us, Libby Lessons. I've always thought there was something big going on in LA. That could be a possibility, but it's not necessarily saying it has to do with the Wells. Oh, I'm goody. I'm glad. Oh, yeah. And as far as people saying, well, little kids just don't disappear. They don't just walk off. That's bull. That's bull. Like, she lived there for 5 years. For the last 2 years, I guarantee you she's been through them woods, if not with her dad, with her brothers. Like, they were outside kids. They loved to play outside. They were rough little kids. So, I don't feel like there was anything. Yeah, see? I mean, I just don't think there was anything more than, to any of them pictures people have been putting up, especially that one that just drives me insane, with her dancing in the rain in front of that barrel that said for sale. Like, I get so annoyed with people saying that that was them trying to sell her, because she was standing in front of something that said for sale. What if they had that down by the road and had things in it? Like, that could have been for anything. I don't think that had to do with Summer. Well, okay, so I am not a country girl by no means. I may live in North Carolina, but I was born and raised in New York. So I am a city girl through and through. But we have woods, we have rivers, we have creeks, we have all kinds of things up there too. It's just nobody's aware of it, because when you think of New York, you think of the city. You think of Brooklyn, you think of Queens, Manhattan, Long Island. You don't think of like upstate, where it's just as country as North Carolina or Kentucky or Tennessee. Like, but it's not as bad country as that. Like, we're still city kid people, but we don't classify us as country. Right? I don't think the Wells are involved, but a ring of, I say, folk. Yes, MA, yes. There is about 15 of them right there in benhill. I agree with you 100%. I don't think the parents had anything to do with it, but all them neighbors are so sketchy. And I wouldn't believe none of them if they said they peed on a fire to put it out. I just don't believe any of them. And starting with JS, that's my top one. I don't believe anything that woman says. Call me a or whatever. But I don't believe nothing that woman says. Like, why did you wait a few days to tell the law about you hearing screams? Why didn't you say something that day? Not only that, why are you going to take your purse to go look for a missing kid in the woods? Now, I know that's definitely not a country thing. That might be a city thing, but that is not a country thing. Like, it doesn't make any sense what that woman has done or said. Like, I can't even fathom some of the things she said. Hell, you can't even understand half of the things she says. But back to the whole Ellie thing. Like I say, I think it's a good thing that they don't tell us like the important stuff. But at the same time, I think they should share something with us. So, because they're the ones that are constantly saying the rumors and lies aren't helping the case. Well, you're not helping to stop the rumors or lies either, because you're not allowing us to know anything. Anything. So what do you expect people to do? Yeah, like I told you, I don't really believe a lot of stuff that Ellie says. Like, I think they are doing the worst job I've ever seen with a missing kids case. And New York is pretty bad with it too. And this is the worst I've ever seen it. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. And as far as Candace and lawyering up, she never lawyered up. She never lawyered. They might not be cooperating, but come on, it's been almost 9 months. Wait a minute. Yeah, 9 months. Yeah. So what do they want them to do? I mean, if they would have lawyered up in the beginning, then they would have had something to hide, everybody would have said. Even if they lawyer up now, I honestly would think that's good, because that's for their protection. Honestly. Excuse me, y'all. This weather has been so hard on me. But yeah, I really don't think Ellie has anything. Like, I really seriously think they don't have anything. Nothing on the parents, nothing on Grandis. I think, like you said, Margaret, they're going more into the neighbors. I mean, why would she lawyer up? I mean, if I was her now with my husband being locked up, yeah, I probably would, because of all the people that are threatening her. Like, everybody's like, oh, she can go to work. She don't need people sending her money. First off, she's never asked nobody for anything. Not once. That's been like, I would drop her Cash App in mine. I've never dropped mine, but I will drop hers. And BK has, but he hasn't literally done it. His Chad has done it. So, I mean, we're trying to help her because we know she can't get a job. Right? And well, honestly, I think they had a lot to do with that situation. I don't talk about the laundries. I love you, MA, but that's just one I don't talk about, only because I believe he's still alive. The parents had a lot to do with what happened to Gabby, and God knows who else. So I've never followed that case, because the day the cops took Gabby away from him, they should have took him, not her. and they allowed them to go right back. So I mean, yeah, that's like a long drawn out case right there that drives me nuts. But and not to mention they went with a real estate lawyer. Like, hello. I didn't know he knew much about crime, but okay. But yeah, no. Candace didn't lawyer up. Her mom didn't lawyer up. Don has a lawyer because he's in jail. He had to have a lawyer for his DUI. So if anything comes about with anything, they're automatically going to give him the same lawyer that he had for his DUI. But you got so many people out there. Like, I've went to one channel, and every time I go in there just to listen, I don't talk no more in there. I just listen. And there's this one lady that's like, oh, I call TBI or FBI, one of the two, every day. And I ask them where Summer is every day. Like, you're a normal nobody. Why do you think they've got to tell you what's going on? A nobody. We are not entitled to anything. I just wish they would. I really do wish they would help us stop all this drama. And I am one of these days going to get to Tennessee so I can meet Candace. And that is one of my wishes before the end of the year. Yeah, because if you think in the beginning, the boob troop was trying to get her dental records, her medical records, her school records, CPS records. Like, we are not entitled to none of that. Like, you are not related to this child. If they would have gave them information on Summer, any of them, that would have been a lawsuit from hell. A lot of people would have lost their jobs. A lot of people. Just like they did to Don and Candace. They were working and they got them fired. And now everybody's screaming Candace needs a job. Well, okay, I'm sorry. I know if I was getting daily threats like this woman is, if I had to look over my back every time I walked out my house, yeah, like, I wouldn't want a job either. Like, who's going to hire me with all this publicity? And then you got to worry about people coming to your job screaming outside your job, you killed your baby. Where's your baby? Where did you put her? You know where she is. Like, come on. That's you're not showing no kind of respect for yourself if you're going to stand out there and do that type of just saying. Yeah. Yeah, I believe they've tried to talk to him. And I mean, but if he doesn't know anything, what can he tell them? And that's the whole bad thing, is that everybody swears they know that the parents know something. But what if it is true that the parents don't know nothing? Nothing. What if they know as much as you and I? Then we got a lot of people out here that are going to look like asses. God forbid this case comes to an end and they find Summer. And it comes out that the parents had nothing to do with it. Now, I'm kind of leaning on the grandest thing, knowing what's going on. Like, I feel like I watched that uncut with H and Chris M or CM. So H's mom said that Grandis was supposed to adopt Summer. Did y'all hear that? What's all your thoughts on this after school Satan club? What are you talking about, E? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, baby.
Ugh. Damn cough. YouTubers can't stand it, parents can't tell what they don't know, so they make up their own stories. You are so, oh God, hat off to you, Sarah. I don't know how many times I've said that. You always give me so much stuff when you come into my lives to look up, and then it gets me sidetracked on the things that I do want to talk about. Quit it. But yeah, supposedly Grandis was supposed to adopt Summer, and when she was born, Don looked at her and fell in love with her, and that was the end of the adoption. So, that could put Grandis on uneasy street, like not very happy with them. But you already had 3 chances to raise children, Grandis. And all 3 of them kind of didn't end up in a very good place. Yeah, I never heard of that either. See, now you get everybody else thinking about stuff. Yeah, is it pertaining to Summer E? You just go to Google and Google it. Google after school Satan Club. What is it? Satan? Yeah, Satan Club. Aw, I love you too. So excited there for a minute. I had Libby in my life. I've never had another creator in my life. Kind of made me feel special there for a minute. Okay, so does it have to do with summer, or is it just about kids in general? Oh shit. Never knew. See, and I don't know if that's true because it came from Allie now. She's another one that we can't count all our chips in one spot with. Okay, I'll look into it. We'll look into it and take some notes, and then we'll talk about it. I got it written down. Hey, did you check out the lives going on and what the lives were about? Like, these people. I want to know where this fundraiser for summer is going to, because as far as I know, there is nothing out there for a fundraiser for her. And you're not supposed to use her name to raise money. Well, I don't trust anything Ellie really says. Now, if TBI or the FBI comes out with it, I might believe it. I'm not too fond of what Ellie says there because it seems like Hawkins County Ellie just sucks. I'm sorry, they do. Okay, I got you, babe. I'll go through it. I'll look it up. I'll look at. I will look it up after my live. Is it now? It can't be no bigger than watching BK go after ES. That's becoming a big shit show too. I can't understand why. Is he just trying to get him off YouTube? Is that why he keeps going after him? I seen him do a live today about it. That's what I thought, Margaret. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I was under this. So in other words, it's going straight to their bank account. And they have received a lot of money so far. Like, that's crazy. You put the kid's name out there and all of a sudden you're going to get people to donate to you. Like, that's crazy. Oh, look, PG's on. Is she not live anymore? Guess not. Oh, no, that was her. That wasn't me. That was her. I was looking at the wrong live. Look at you. Aren't you better done with a box of rocks? But yeah, so they have a fundraiser going on about her. What was, and when I went in there, it wasn't even about her. Like, I didn't hear nothing about her. Which I don't normally go in on that channel. I just seen it said fundraiser for her. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Okay.
How much have they raised? 1.5. That was their goal, was 1.5K was their goal in Summer's name, and that is what they reached. They raised 1.5K. That's crazy. And I can't believe people sit there and listen to the bull that comes out of their mouth. I'm hoping that people watch it for entertainment and not to believe what's going on. Thank you. I don't like the bashing of anybody. I try not to bash anybody. I sure enough try not to say names. Even though I don't like some of the creators or what they do, I still don't believe in bashing, and I definitely do not believe in bashing the victims' families. Otherwise, it's always peaceful and quiet in here. Either Real will tell you, like, I usually don't have no more than maybe 7 people at a time in my live, and I kind of prefer it like that, even though it's not getting me up there where I need to be. But it's okay because my lives don't have all that drama. We don't argue and fight in here. We're grown-ups. You can't act like a grown-up, there's other channels that you can go to act like that on. But I just don't. I don't like it in my lives. I don't. I want to be able to investigate with y'all, like come up with, even if it's a scenario, our scenario, it's not going no further. Like, it's not going to be passed on to another channel as info, because I know as much as everybody else does. The only thing people don't really like about me is that I am on Candace's side. I would love to be her friend. I would love to be able to go and hang out with her because she needs real friends. She doesn't have anybody that I know of that she can completely trust. because everybody that she's thought she could trust in the past has turned on her, has went onto somebody's channel and just word vomit everything that supposedly Candace said. Now, I don't know how much of any of that stuff I believe either. But I feel like they tell you what they think you want to hear. If you want to hear this, they're going to tell you this. If you want to hear that, they'll tell you that. I don't think a lot of the stuff that they say on YouTube is realistic. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you. I appreciate you, Sarah, M.A. Before y'all leave my live, though, if you can just hit the thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate. Get me out there in the YouTube algorithm. I'm not necessarily I need to get my thing up just so my lives are shown on the main page. I just never understood why some creators were digging in their past or even trying to. Okay, so what? Let me think of how to say this in a question. Why would anybody go disturb a grave? Like, to me, that's more disrespectful than anything. Oh, thank you, Libby. I've been a subscriber of yours for a while. And I catch you in BKs all the time as well. To me, you're the most famous person that's been in my life on YouTube. And thank you, E. No, I don't think so either, Margaret. I think they were the ones that were actually just reaching out to get information. Like that Jenna girl. Now, I think everything that Jenna girl is just kind of like JS. Everything they say is BS. I honestly think so. Like, I'm not saying that, I just want to know where some creators, just like them protesters, got off thinking it was all right to go to a graveyard for no reason. Like, they're not here. What kind of information can you get out of dirt? Yeah, like, it's so disrespectful in my mind. I was like, oh my goodness. It made me almost want to travel the 7 hours to Tennessee just to go put flowers on this grave because I felt so bad. I felt really bad. I felt really, really, really horrible. I really just don't understand that. That was like one of my pet peeves about the boob troop. Like, I don't understand what they were doing or what entitlement they felt they deserved. Just like the ones that are making money off Summer. Like, I just don't understand it. I don't understand what the digging the bones, digging in the past is going to help with what's going on in the future. Like, isn't that the reason the past is the past? Like, you either have your regrets from your past or you don't. Like, you move on or you stay still. I just don't understand. Like, I really don't understand how people think or what they think about. It kind of like baffles me a little bit. I want you to jump on a plane and explain to them how stupid they look and how degrading they are. They really were. They really were very disrespectful. Like, I'm all for the protesting if it's quiet. I don't believe in going to people's jobs and making a scene, because that's making you look like making you seriously look trashy. Like going and screaming out in front of somebody's job. I just don't understand that. Like, hold a sign up. Wear summer. Like, don't sit there and blame people for something that you don't even know if they've done it, because there's no evidence. Oh, so their evidence is because of the way they lived. That's also proven child abuse, because of the way they lived. No, it's not. There is no way, shape, or form is that child abuse. It might be a little bit of neglect, so maybe. But you, at least they had a roof over their head, running water, rooms, heat, food. Now, if they were on the street in a tent or something, oh my goodness, they'd have been crucified, right? So either way they go, if they hated the Wells to begin with, they're going to hate them no matter what. And that's not fair to them, because we don't even know if they know anything. We really don't know if they've done anything. I pray that they didn't, because nobody really wants to look like a dumbass at the end of the day with this case. All I want is the truth. I want the truth. Is that so hard to... I just want to know the truth. What happened to this baby girl? Yeah. I have never seen those channels. Yeah, the glare. I love him. Oh, God. I love him. Miss his lives. I can't catch his lives anymore for some reason. I half-ass catch Benny's, and I kick myself in the ass whenever I miss his, and he's been doing a lot here lately. Exactly. Innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. I don't... And then I got put in Facebook jail, y'all, the other day, because I went on... I have like two groups that I belong to. One's a Summer Wells, Find Summer Wells or something like that. And the other one is Michelle After Dark's Facebook group. So one of those two channels, I got put in 24-hour Facebook jail because they did not like my comment. Now, in them two groups, I don't hold nothing back. Like on YouTube, I'm a little bit more reserved, but on Facebook, I don't hold nothing back. And when it comes to the Wells, I'm like that. I'm on your tail. Like, there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. There is no reason to be judging these people when we don't know we don't know nothing. That's my whole thing. And I keep trying to stress that. And I'm like, what happened to innocent until proven guilty? And then somebody yelled at me yesterday talking about, this isn't the court of law. This is Facebook. And I was like, well, y'all are already convicting and being you're the jury and convicting these people. I mean, so how is that any different than me saying innocent until proven guilty? Like, it just drives me insane. It really does. I mean, I'm literally saying it nicer than what I said it to them. Because like I said, I really don't hold things back. And I guarantee you, it was probably in Michelle's, honestly, that I got banned. Or not banned, but Facebook jail. Because I kind of cursed. Like, I sounded like a truck driver. Because I got so tired of these people. Like, if it's not one thing. Oh, and then they keep going back to the milk jug pitcher. That baby was sleeping in that pitcher. Well, she was leaning against milk. Okay, well, if it was over 100 degrees, that milk was nice and cold. You don't know how long it was from the swimming hole to that pitcher. So even if she went swimming, she dried. she was dry. So if she was laying against the milk, maybe she was hot. She was wearing a fleece hoodie thingy. There's no reason to judge them at all. They were doing their best in hard times. People forgot instantly about COVID, etc. Exactly. But you know what? They would say, "Oh, well, that was the house looked like before that." How do we know what it looked like before that? Because when summer went missing, they were literally in the process of fixing it. But with Don working all the time, who's going to be there to fix it? He had to provide for his children, his family. I mean, grant you, yes. I mean, I can't really say nothing. I don't have my floors done. I have plywood down on my floors. I have animals. I'm scared to put my wood floor down. I haven't painted my walls yet. And I've lived in my house for 5 years. We smoke in my house, so I don't want to paint my walls. I'm scared. Until my porches get screened in and windowed in or whatever, I won't smoke outside. So, with that being said, until my stuff gets fixed on my house don't look no better shape than theirs was, except for it wasn't as cluttered. My house isn't as cluttered. Yeah, I mean, it's just people. I'm not saying that the way they live is bad, because everything was thrown in. Like, they were in the process of making an extra room for the boys. The 2 youngest ones were going to share the room. The oldest one in summer, they would each have their own room. So, I mean, they were doing a lot of improvements on their house. And then summer went missing. Of course, that's going to make anybody stop. I'm not going to want to do anything. Like me, I made this YouTube channel only because my sister passed away in 2020. And had nothing to do with myself. Besides sit there and just constantly think of memories of her, or look at her urn, or look at pictures of her. So what did I do? I picked up YouTube. I've had my channel since February of last year. I did not start doing anything on my channel until January of this year. I just don't know. Like, but yeah, like, I don't know. I don't like how some creators just are constantly on the. Why do I want to feel like I need to say that they feel like they're on the receiving end? 12 kids in a 3-bedroom. Whew. Look at how many youngins you have. I would say, I wouldn't, with that many, I don't even think your house would be standing. Like, whew, bless your heart. I couldn't do all them kids. Bless your heart, Miss Margaret. Bless you. I have one, and she drove me crazy. And she's 21 now, and she still drives me crazy. But we can't sit there and judge people on things that we're only seeing. Like, it's like a lot of them pictures. Everybody's like, oh, they're bruises and bruises. Some of them pictures, or most of the pictures that I've seen that people say she had bruises in, to me look like dirt. But that goes back to her being an outdoor kid. Like, she wasn't the type to be on the computer. She's the type that wanted to be outdoors. Now, I don't know about most of you, but I know when I was growing up, I was outside till that street light came on. Sometimes not by choice either. My mom would make my butt go outside and play. That little girl had an imagination. She wanted to be a princess, for crying out loud. How many little girls nowadays can you say want to be a princess? No, they want to play on the computer. They want to play on a telephone. They want to play on a tablet, a laptop. They don't want to go outside and make mud pies or play house with their dolls or Barbies. They want to play with electronics. Summer wasn't that type of girl. She was a tomboy, but she was a girly girl tomboy. She could climb a tree and still be pretty in a dress. That's how I looked at her. She had the most beautiful eyes. She has the most beautiful eyes. I don't think if anybody liked seeing her in person, them eyes would not get your attention. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, Miss Margaret, that outside. Let them kids use that imagination. And that's Summer. Summer was one of those little girls that loved to use her imagination. And as of, the one thing that I didn't believe that Candace and Dawn said was that she wouldn't wander off. Being that type of kid, I bet you she wandered off more than they knew about. Just saying. And I'm not saying that to be in a mean or bad way. But I know how I was, and I know how my daughter was. Like, we would disappear in a heartbeat. But then when we were growing up, things were a lot different. Like, we literally could stay out all hours of the night and nothing happened to you. You can't do that nowadays. You can't even walk down the street without getting worried about getting snatched up. It's a lot different now than it was back in the 80s, 70s. And think about it. Back in the 80s and stuff, you didn't really hear about kids gone missing like you are now. I remember one. That's it. And that was John Walsh's son, Adam. And I lived less than 2 miles from where that little boy went missing. Less than 2 miles where they found his body and his head. And I was, he was 8 when he went missing? So I was either 4 or 5 when he went missing. I mean, the Walshes didn't get criticized or violated, and so to speak, when Adam went missing. There's a lot of parents that have missing kids right now, and you don't hear about them getting criticized. You don't hear about anything bad about them for their kid gone missing. But it's kind of like the same circumstances. Some kids just walk out the door and you don't see them again. Some kids are playing in the yard, disappear, you don't ever see them again. With Summer, she went down to play in her room. Whether or not she went out that back door or whether or not somebody was standing in that bedroom, we don't know either. But we do know one thing. It had to be somebody that they knew. She didn't make no noises. I feel wholeheartedly that if it was a stranger and they tried to take off with her, I believe she would have screamed. And I believe that child has some lungs. So I really do believe if she was abducted, and that is what I think. One of the things I think anyway, that it was somebody they knew. One person snatched her and one person in the car to take off. Or the same aspect, either they still have her, or another thing that I have believed, and I still kind of believe, is what if she was sold? Not for SA, because that is one thing I just do not believe. I don't know why. I just have it in me that she wasn't sold for SA. What if she was sold for adoption? Because there's people in other countries that'll pay a lot of money for a kid because they can't have one. Just something to think about. Now, I'm not a big psychic person, like believing in them or mediums. Some things I just think are coincidental. So, with that being said, there's this one that I do kind of watch every now and then. Electronic medium. She's her name is Judy. She's a creator on here, and she does her thing. And she does a lot on Summer. And now if you were to listen to it, you would think it was Summer talking, because I downloaded the same spirit boxes that she uses, and I figured out how she gets the kids' voices like that. But neither here or there. I've heard a couple things on her channel with a man and a woman taking Summer, taking her for ice cream, and I don't know, a couple other things. There wasn't a bad theory on it, that kind of got me thinking. But then there would be things that they would say, or whatever was speaking through it, would say that it was hard to believe. Like, I didn't hear the words that they heard. So I don't know how y'all feel about that, but that'd give you something to look at. If you guys get bored, just go back and her name is the channel is called Electronic Medium. She's she's a sweet lady. But it's just, you got to believe in that kind of stuff in order to believe what she's saying, or to believe what you're hearing. And as for the neighbors, I believe a lot of them neighbors are sketchy. I'm not saying none of them neighbors had anything to do with it. She did know most of the neighbors around there. I saw a comment once about someone seeing Summer in a restaurant not far away, and they had no feedback from TBI. Because if there's no feedback, then it wasn't true. I also seen somewhere where they said TBI had Summer, which I don't believe that either. Well, I don't know about that. You've heard of worse things. Now, what if TBI does have her and put her in like a witness protection program type thing to feed on, this Kate, the SA ring or whatever, whatever they're lurking on for it. So, there's a lot of questions and very little answers. You don't know what to believe, when to believe it, and who to believe, or who to listen to. I don't know. I just hope we get to something soon. Like this, it's going on a year. Come on, give us something. I think we at least deserve that much. The commentator reported it and never got a promised callback. Who promised? TBI promised them that they would call back? See? That's where everybody's going. Everybody's going back to Benny's live. Told you he's been doing a lot of lives. I love BK, but I'm not going in there because I don't want to hear about ES no more. Okay, so TBI probably just told them that just to get them off the phone, honestly. And I wouldn't put that past TBI. God, my voice sounds so raspy. Yeah, I feel that way too, Sarah. I believe she's alive. I believe she's somewhere. Well, I appreciate you both. Like, I love BK. Like, I try to Cash App him every time I'm in there. But the only thing is when I Cash App him, I keep forgetting that my name on my Cash App is Dopey Forever, not Dippy. So, like, when he says thank you to me, nobody knows who I am because my name is Dippy on here. I'm like, oh, damn it, I need to change it. But yeah, I can only listen about ES so much because that guy is, whew. I used to go in this one room. Me and her both started our lives at the same time, same day. Very first live, the same day. And when she did her live, I closed mine down and I went into her live, and that me and her were friends from that day. But now that she got her channel monetized or whatever it's called, she's been acting kind of funny. So I don't go in there as much. And her views have changed a lot. Yeah, he's on ES's ASS. Bad. And I don't blame him. I really don't. Not one bit. I don't care for ES. I really can't stand the man. Well, BK. I just can't stand ES. And there's this one lady on my friend's channel, and she's like obsessed with ES. I like his swag. I was like, swag? What swag does he have? And any chance she gets, she wants to talk junk about BK. Not with Dippy in the room anyway. She does kind of watch her P's and Q's when I'm around. If she hears my name in that room, she doesn't normally say too much after that. But yeah. And I'm not a mean person, but BK is one of my favorite creators nowadays. Like, when I first started watching him, he was kind of arrogant. He still is kind of arrogant, but not as bad. He's calmed down a lot. Strange ain't half of it. Somebody tonight was going over the trial he was involved in with his brother when his brother killed somebody. And ES refused to give his DNA up. Which I guarantee you, if Benny knows that was on her channel, he'll have something to say about that. I know he will. Purposely just because of who the person is. I think he calls her Ernie Jr. You guys might know who I'm talking about now. I like listening to BK. Got some pretty eyes. So does anybody know if Ernie ever did really get put in jail? Because I know last night if he did go to jail, he was out last night. What the hell did I do? He was on PG's last night. Yeah, just a little bit. But don't know. I hope so. His and everybody else is like, well, dildo hunter. And I shouldn't until proven guilty is funny. He just called Ernie the dildo hunter. But yeah, no. I wanted to see if he was going to say anything about him being in jail. My thing is I think there's two. Do you think Summer's still in the? That I don't think. I don't think she is in Hawkins County anymore. My thing would be they probably either have her secluded away, like homeschooled and stuff like that, out of the country, or she's near a big city where she can blend in. And I remember a story where a little girl got kidnapped and they made her change her name. Like they told everybody they told her that if anybody asked her what her name was, to tell them that they gave her a different name. Like, but not to tell people that was a fake name. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm saying it right. But she walked around for years with this fake name until somebody was like, you know what? You look like this little girl named so-and-so. And by the look in her eyes, when the person had left, they called LE and told them that they believed this was that missing little girl. And come to find out it was her. So, I mean, anything's possible. When is the West trial? Does anybody remember? I gotta write that down. I really gotta. AV United Watchmen, I think it is gonna cover the West trial from inside. So I will be broadcasting that because I have asked him permission while he's live if I could do that, and he said yes. So that way my subscribers, if they are not subscribed to him, can watch Orrin and Orson get justice. No, get down. My turn was taken when I was born. Wow. That is weird. Your twin was you're sure taken, not giving up? Because that's kind of weird. But I'm glad y'all. Trial, right? TRAIL. Ah! Down. That. And your parents didn't. I'm kind of confused. Trial date is May 23rd of this year. Woohoo. Stop it, you little cracker. Stop. Kick you in your head tonight. Oh, okay. Oh, I am so sorry. Well, I am so happy that you guys found each other. That had to be weird, like you were looking into a mirror. Like they always say you have a twin, but could you imagine, like literally staring at yourself? Wondering, like, like, am I standing in front of a mirror? Are you guys fraternal or identical? I think identical would scare the living shit out of me. Excuse my French or my English. Well, okay, let me delete this stuff. Have you guys ever heard of a Matt Gilbert? He's a YouTube creator. That is wicked. 15 miles. That you guys didn't go to the same schools? A black market baby. What? It took us 2 years. So did you like invite her over before you told your mom? So like, or did you just wait the whole 2 years to like even introduce her to your mom? Whew. I think my mom would have a heart attack. But I guess if you guys were 18 when you guys met, Well, still her unofficial biological parents that she thought were her biological parents could have gotten in trouble regardless for the fact of having a missing baby. Well, but technically she was a missing baby because they lied to your mom. How does that happen? Like, so the doctors and nurses had to have something to do with that as well. That mind boggles me that your sister was taken at birth and like everybody lied to your mother. Whew. So what was her mother told? Nice. I'm glad you had some pickles. So what was her mother told? Here's a baby. We told the parents that she was no longer alive, so you can have like I don't understand how her mother came about to get her. That's a true crime case in itself. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, now you want to load. Oh, Lord. Did you guys know there was a gag order on the Westport for the Orrin and Orson West case? I had no idea. Wow. Come on. Only North Carolina weather would do some crap like this. Ooh, 81 people. Has anybody heard any more about the Oakley Carlson case? Let's subside from summer for a little bit, because there's a lot of kids out there that could use our voices. No updates since February. That's crazy. February 22nd. No, wait, hold on. It's saying that the siblings are saying they fear that she was eaten by wolves. Missing Washington 6-year-old whose siblings fear was eaten by wolves may still be alive, profiler says. Was who a race car driver? Yeah, Oakley, she was a 6-year-old. Yes, they bought her from a. He told her it was an abusive. Well, you know that in the long run, that came out good for you and your sister. You both regained that relationship, and you both now have a bigger family because of it. It's always nice when a case comes to a close like that, instead of always wondering. What do you mean, was she a race car driver, hon? But yeah, now they're saying that she may still be alive. Says the parents never notified anybody that she disappeared, he said. If someone else grabbed her, kidnapped her, I'm sure the parents would have gone to authorities. I don't believe that. Because they said Oakley started the fire in the living room with the couch, and it turned out to be the microwave. So what makes you think that they would go to the authorities if somebody was to kidnap her or grabbed her or whatever they did? I mean, I fully believe the parents, the mother and the father are to be held accountable for that. The parents' silence could be indicative that they were involved in her disappearance, Kelly said, but that doesn't mean she's dead. Well, didn't they find blood? They found her blood, I believe. Or no. Nobody's seen or heard from her since the house fire. Because even the foster parents, after they heard about the fire, went over there and brought stuff to the kids. Yeah, I honestly though, Sarah, I don't believe she is. I don't feel like she is, but that's in my opinion. Like, I feel like Summer's still here. I don't. When I talk about Oakley, I get chills. When I talk about Summer, I don't. Like, when I talk about my father and my sister, I get the chills throughout my whole entire body. Yes, that foster family was amazing, and I blame CPS for that because they should have just left that baby where she was. I mean, she didn't even really want to go home. Go back to her parents. There's a reward, and there's a reward for a lot of these missing kids, even ones that are not as publicized as Summer and Oakley and Harmony and some of these other kids. But I don't think a lot of people realize that that reward is not going to go to the person that gives them any information. That is their tactic. Because if you have information, that means you know something. And especially if it leads to recovering the missing child, whether gone or alive. You knew something the whole time. But it just doesn't make any sense. Like, there's one I'm still following from, like, I think 2015. This baby has been missing, I think, 2015 or 2012. Hold on, I'll tell you when. I have it written down. I hope they can find these kids. It's just so heartbreaking. Yes. So, in December of 2011, this little girl that was 19 months disappeared from her father's care. Her name was Ayla Reynolds. I've been following this case probably since 2012. It's one that needs to be put out there because there's still nothing on her either. And I'm so scared this is how Summer's case is going to end up. But the only difference is that I believe wholeheartedly that dad knows where that baby's at. Because this is the one I got mixed up. They found that baby's blood on his shoes. They found some blood on the basement floor. Okay, now when I say basement, this was like a full basement. They used it as like an extra living room or playroom or whatever you want to say. So, it wasn't just like a cold, damp basement like most basements are. And nobody's been charged in this case. And they literally did declare the baby gone in 2017. A judge declared her, and which isn't right because they still don't know what happened to this baby. So this baby literally disappeared into thin air, and nobody knows anything. Last year, December 11th of 2021 was 10 years. That baby's been gone and missing. It is. And it's like in the last 2-3 years, just about every child that's went missing been 5 years old. 5. What is up with that number? Why? I did a podcast, a live podcast on a little girl that went missing from my area in 2009. Now, people want to think that Summer was involved in an SA ring or, whatever. Go back and look at that podcast. I talk about a real live one. The mother literally sold this little girl for $200. A drug debt for $200. And the mother didn't even have this little girl maybe 3 months back in her custody. And let's see, because I was actually part of the search team on that one. I was there the day they found her, but I wasn't in the location where they found her. But I heard the screams from the people that did find her. This low-life piece of garbage threw her away with the carcasses from the deer. When the hunters go and kill their deer or whatever, and they skin them, do whatever, they take all the bones and leftovers from this deer and throw it in this one wooded area. And that is where they found this poor baby girl 2 weeks after she went missing. And the bad part is the guy that took her killed her the same exact night. They have footage of him bringing her to my town, which is 30 minutes away from where he took her. Well, he didn't take her. I can't say that, because the mother literally gave this little girl to him. "30 minutes to my town." And they have video of him taking her into the hotel, taking her up to the room. Supposedly he was supposed to meet other family members to trade her off. It all came out in the end that it was a lie. Like, he was smiling in his mugshot throughout the court hearing. He was smiling. He literally did not want anybody to speak in his behalf during the sentencing phase. And the judge was like, "Do you understand what you're doing? Like, you don't want anybody, not even your mother, to speak on your behalf? Not even your lawyers?" And he was like, "No, my life is over with anyway." He's like, "My freedom is gone." And, he was made it out to be like he was the victim. No. Whether he was put on death row or not, I'd have buried his ass under that jail. I sure the hell am not going to put you on death row and have to feed you still. Like, our taxes are still feeding these pieces of shits that are doing this. And it's crazy. We still clothe them. We still feed them. They have room and board. Everything. They don't have the luxuries we have on the outside, but they're still living after doing this to kids. Like, what is wrong with the world? Like, I swear to you, until Summer's case, I never knew how many missing children were in the United States. And from Tennessee alone, over 500 missing kids. Some have been from back in the 90s that have still not been found. So, okay, and my theory on this is from newborn to about, I'll say probably about 10 years old. I would believe that was an abduction or a murder, something along that line. 12 years old and up, my first instinct, if they went missing, is they ran away. That's just my first instinct, because that age is the age where they start running away. Now, whether or not they did or not, they could have run away and then something happened. Or they could have got kidnapped. But most than likely, if they're missing at a teenage, preteen, teenage years, it's because they ran away because they're not happy at home. That's in my opinion only. But with babies, I don't see them running away. Like, my daughter used to tell me she was going to run away all the time, and she pack a bag, and I let her walk out the door. I watch her, of course, every move she made. I didn't never let my child be outside by herself. Like, I was always there, like not up on her butt watching her, but I was like, I'd be on the porch or something watching her so I could still see my child. And she had a treehouse that my dad built her, and she would just go up there and chill out up there for an hour or so. That was her running away. But I was always watching her. I never allowed my child to be outside by herself. Some type of older person had to be with her. And nobody under the age of 16. Because I just didn't trust it. I'm a very protective mother. I mean, I've had 2 cousins gone missing, and there's still no words on them. One was 3 when they went missing, and the other one was 16. So, yeah. I'm kind of on that's why I said the 3-year-old, I think his dad had something to do with it. I mean, I just can't prove it. The 16-year-old, I believe she did run away. But what happened to her after she ran away, I don't know. But I do know for a fact that it didn't have nothing to do with anybody in my family. Yeah. Until they were ready to come back. Like, I mean, and I could see Summer doing that. I really could. Like, get mad at the boys for not wanting to play with her. I don't know. It just gets a little bit weirder daily. But there's so many kids out here that are missing, and not saying that Summer doesn't need us to keep her name out there, because she does. But there's so many other children that us as creators could be talking about to put their name out instead of worrying about what Candace and Don do on a daily. Personally, it's none of our business. It really isn't. Ugly people made a law for reasons of crime. No one is in God's faith. Look why God. What? What do you mean by that? It gotta change. I think I'm a little bit ADHD because I totally forgot what I was talking about. Woo. But yeah, I believe the teenage kids, I believe they ran away, or they ran, period. They just ran away. They ran away to go stay with a friend. They ran away to go be with somebody they knew their parents wouldn't want them to be with. You guys know? Have you guys ever heard of this creator called Matt Gilbert? Let me see if I can find him. Yeah, this is funny. Oh, my computer's running so slow. I'll show you this. I don't think this dude does it to be mean or hateful. I think he's doing it to lighten the mood with everybody because everybody is so on pins and needles. Yes. There was that teenage girl case that everyone thought she ran away and she was kidnapped. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they don't get kidnapped by no means. I'm just saying the majority of a teenagers run away. But that could have been the case. That could have been a case. She still could have been mad at the world or whatever, and was just outside. She definitely had to be on the street if she got kidnapped. So what if she did run away in her mind, and she got took? I mean, you never know with the kids these days. But yeah, I'm not saying by no means that the teenagers don't get kidnapped. I just majority of them run away. Whew. Can't believe it's 1:40 already. Or 12:40 already. Come on, I want to show that. No, what are you doing? Oh my goodness. I don't know what is there it goes. I don't know what's going on with my computer today. It doesn't want me to go live, I guess. Here, this is the one I wanted you to watch. Let me see. Share screen. She was walking home and snatched off the street. Oh, wow. I've never heard of that. Not at all. What? I bet. I bet they do. This one's about Cher. And that's what I don't understand. Like, why do you? How can you? Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, people on social media, right? Everybody and anybody, if they believe what they say, what they hear is truth, like they believe everything. I bet you some people would believe it if you told them this. Whoops. I didn't mean for that one. But people will believe. People would believe anything. You could tell them the sky is purple, and I bet you they'd believe it. And I'm dead serious. Stop. Damn. I just believe that, you could tell certain people that the sky's purple and the moon is pink with purple polka dots, blue polka dots, and they would believe it. Like, it drives me crazy that one person can say something and so many people believe it. And it really, it's getting to the point where I want to really get off the missing kids case, and I want to go to cold cases. Have you guys seen the Ryan Upchurch? Oh wow! So did you guys hear the Ryan Upchurch um thing on Summer the other day? Has anybody? Well, I will tag him in this. Yeah, I'll tag him in this after this, but we're going to look at the newest one he just put up a few hours ago. Because I had commented on one thing about him on his podcast, and I told him, I was like, look, I am so grateful for you to do this. I was like, but you are so not even, you are far from telling the truth. And yes, Christina Randall did cover it very well. My props to Christina, always. But in the same aspect, she did it in the beginning, so she doesn't know everything that has gone on. And so she felt, I guess, in the beginning that the parents had something to do with it, as everybody else did. He was found. What are you talking about? Who was found? But yeah, he he really just basically covered everything that everybody else said. Oh my God, no. Where's my mouse? That's my problem. Where is it? It was like 14 hours ago. What was it called? Oh, it wasn't even about summer. That's why I can't find it. So he basically put something out there for all of us YouTube true crime. But in my defense, I have taken myself off the true crime platform. I am talk show and podcast. So that way I am not thrown in the drama with all the other creators. But if I can get my crap to work. Watch, it's probably quiet. So I'm taking a lot of what he said in this one to my comments on several different channels that he has been on in the true crime community. I heard a load. I think my computer's getting hot.
Investigator. I'm just trying to use my platform so people know. I mean, I do have a lot of people saying, "Yo, why don't you talk about this? Why don't you shed light on this missing?"
Hold on. Okay. I don't know where it went to on that.
Sweet. I don't know if I'm going to be covering any more crime shit, okay? To all the YouTube channels out there that cover crime stuff, I don't know how you do it. I feel like the community for this crime stuff is fucking chaos. I mean, dude, I've been trying to shed light on the Summer Wells thing so people are aware of it, you know? So maybe if she is out there, people see her. That's what the Amber Alert's for. I'm a musician. I'm not a fucking private investigator. I'm just trying to use my platform so people know. I mean, I do have a lot of people saying, "Yo, why don't you talk about this? Why don't you shed light on this missing girl?" I do. And then when I do, motherfuckers who are also not private investigators, who think they're private investigators, will tell me how I'm not being a good private investigator. I mean, dude, just from talking about it yesterday with chat and making that video. Today there's multiple videos of people being like, that's the wrong information. That's the wrong information. He doesn't know the right information. Shit, Sherlock. You think I'm going to be sitting here looking shit up if I already know, fool? Not to mention Mr. Private Investigators out there. Look at the internet. Look how much false information is out there.
Exactly.
I'll type their name in and scroll through the shit and see people being like inside the mind of this person involved in it. Let me tell you about it. And talking to the spirit of Summer Wells and all this stupid shit. Yeah, it's hard to find real information, especially when you got 10,000 motherfuckers trying to money grab off this shit. I don't get paid from YouTube. I don't have my donuts turned on during.
So he's saying he's not monetized, y'all. I think he is monetized, but he's not getting paid for this. He gets paid for his music, which it's in my opinion. I'm not sure. I'm not a private investigator like anybody else. And he does speak facts on that part. Like, I do commend him on that, because none of us are private investigators. And like I said earlier, none of us are entitled to jack crap. So with that being said, yes, there is 1,001 people out here that are constantly throwing out lies. None of us know the real truth. Like me, I personally would believe the people that are close to them that are actually their friends, like cracking cases and BK. Like, I haven't heard anything false come out of either one of them. Like, they are not saying that cracking cases are friends, but they're acquaintances. So I would believe what they would tell us, or what BK would tell us, before anybody from the Boo Troop or some of these other creators that are just. And then there's some of the ones that say, oh yeah, I'm friends with them, I know them, but yet you're doing your own channel, doing nothing but bashing them. So with that being said, let's listen to some more. Like I said, I will tag him in my edit later, so I don't get doxxed for this. Or not doxxed, but striped. It's in my fair use, so I'm good. Now if I can get it to play again. All right, play. You've got enough time to load.
Lives. I do this shit because I want to. So crime community, instead of being a fucking jackass to somebody who has a platform of almost 3 million subscribers and being like, why don't you fucking tell me then? Smart ass, tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Motherfucker, you don't either. If anyone knew what they were talking about, then it wouldn't even be a crime that needed to be solved. Now would it? I mean, when you type stuff in to find out about it, you see shit like the church is a cult, and it's a conspiracy theory, and it was for the adrenochrome. And then me being a person from rural Tennessee that was raised in a holler his whole life says something like, well, then why didn't you hear the car pull up from down the street? He was like, don't you know, there's too many fucking trees in the way for the sound there. You gotta go for the fucking tree. Okay, I get it. Here's the thing. You can't expect somebody trying to shed light on this to know absolutely every single fucking thing about it. Especially when you type in Summer Wells case timeline, and there's thousands of videos that all have different timelines. Especially when the people who are actually involved in this case are having different timelines. I mean, the grandma, just the other day, her interview with the news changed the timeline. So, Mr. I'm correct about the timeline. Now, your timeline is fucking wrong. There are YouTubers and there are people who want to help with these things. But people with big platforms are not going to help with these things. If they get on here and try to shed light, help spread the word. And people who are also trying to spread the word are like bashing another person for not knowing what they know. you're making the community toxic and shitty. If you're a page that has, no offense, but if you're a page that has 3,000 subscribers and your videos are getting 149 views, you can't expect me to know about what you know. Another thing, I'm not a person who's like, oh, you must have this amount of followers to be featured on my page. So instead of you being an asshole and being like, he doesn't fucking know, why couldn't you just be like, hey, let me jump on a live with you? I've been researching it for this much. This is what I know. And I noticed you didn't know these things, which sheds more light on it with facts, because whoever that person is has been researching it longer than me. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that.
Okay, so yeah, I go back to saying that I think he was talking about me. I mean, I wasn't being an ass when I was saying anything. I was just literally telling him that, well, and I'm sure he's had other people say shit to him too, because there's a lot of people that do not like him for different reasons. But like I said, I wasn't being an ass to him. I was just simply saying that he was rehashing old stuff that we've already come to find out. You know, like the timeline is so whacked out right now that we don't know exactly what happened that day. We don't know what happened that day. Like the timeline does not add up. For one thing that doesn't add up is that Don, he was supposed to be at work. But in H's interview, he said that supposedly that the boys were supposed to be at work with him. And then when they get home at 3:30, Don's not there, but the boys are. So my theory on that was, what if he came home at lunch and dropped the kids off? Dropped the boys off. You know, the oldest one is old enough to watch the two younger ones. So, okay, that's one inconsistency. Another inconsistency is what he said about grandma. Like, grandma couldn't even say most of the story. Like she wasn't honest. You know, it wasn't on a repeat with her, because we've never heard from grandma until that day. And all these other two creators that say they have text messages from grandma to this person or this person, that could have been anybody typing. That could have been anybody typing. We don't know for a fact that message came from grandma. But y'all, it is after 1 a.m. on my time. I am going to take my happy butt to sleep. I will be on tomorrow evening. I appreciate everybody that came in. I appreciate everybody that joined in with me on the live. I appreciate it all. For the new subs, for everybody, for everything. Thank you guys so very much. I am Dippy. You're more than welcome to come in whenever I'm live. I talk about more than just missing kids. I talk about life in general. And I don't stare away from anybody's questions. I don't stare away from anybody's opinions. I was always told opinions are like butts, and everybody has one. So we have to take them as we get them. But with that being said, I am ending my live and hope to see y'all tomorrow. Thank you for coming in.